The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse by William Saroyan. This story is about two poor Armenian boys who belong to a tribe whose hallmarks are trust and honesty. Himi thontu hi Armenian mipa pahnih le thei tak te chanchin an ni a an ni hi nam zaum tak dik tak te nam a mi te an ni a. Page number 1, definition Trankat Janang. One day, back there in the good old days when I was 9 and the world was full of every imaginable kind of magnificence, and life was still a delightful and mysterious dream. Nikhat chu kumkwa kanilai in Kovel world ka full of every imaginable kind of magnificence. Hey thiu eng po thiu ro puile mak tak tak te kan suang tua thei shim shim thleng thei tura ngai lai nun a chuan le kan cover shim shim hi suang tua na du om tak le nuam tak mai khatiang hun alani lai chuan my cousin Maurat, who was considered crazy by everybody who knew him except me, came to my house at 4 in the morning. Tichuan ka cousin Maurat, a sheto zong zoina crazy adiu hlek tura an ngai chu I ka ina chuan zingdar lia alo kala and woke me up tapping on the window of my room. Tichuan ka room tuk fer chu lo kikin min lo kai thoa. Aram, he said. I jumped out of bed and looked out of the window. Tichuan ka tho chuak vata tuk ver pon lama chuan ka ena. I could not believe what I saw. Ka thil mu chu ka ring thei lo hle mai. It wasn't morning yet. Zing alini chi alowa. But it was summer, and with daybreak not many minutes around the corner of the world, it was light enough for me to know I wasn't dreaming. Masini puilai ani a zing ani chep to a chuwang chuan kathil mu te chang chuan he kathil mu hi kamu mangani lo ti chu ka hre maya. My cousin Marat was sitting on a beautiful white horse. Ka cousin Marat chu sakor var nal tak mai chunga chuan lo chuanga lo thua. I stuck my head out of the window and rubbed my eyes. Ti chuan tu fer pon lama chuan ka lu chu dak chuakin ka mit te chu ka noi nok noka. Yes, he said in Armenian. Ti chuan Armenian chong chuan ni e it's a horse sakora ni nge alom. You're not dreaming. He imumang anilo. Make it quick if you want to ride. Chuwang chuan sakor chung chuang vedu ni chuan man mo ro tin min lo ti a. The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse car. Explanation kan chun som liang. Tuna chuan page number 2 wa kalila. In textbook page number 2 kalu en vekula. I knew my cousin Marat enjoyed being alive more than anybody else who had ever fallen into the world by mistake. But this was more than even I could believe at the cousin Marat enjoyed to hey nuamti being alive more than anybody else. Midang zong I in ka cousin Marat hian tia nung more alive kan ti chuan nung thil sang sang tia shing nun enjoy hi anomati big empty chu ka shia. But this was more than even I could believe. Ma say hey care chu karin pa kani atini a soitum chu kami sakor a mu ka cousin Marat le sakor a mu dun ka karin pa karin pi alam thil ani. In the first place, at Hanzu Masaberatuan, my earliest memories had been memories of horses, and my first longings had been longings to ride. Ne, katil memories kashiat theina mo khatyang kashiat theina memory Masaberatuan horses himi sakor chungchang hi ania. My first longings had been longings to ride. Chuan katil chak mo kadu thusam kachak ve chin masapo. Sakor chung chuang himi right hi ania. This was the wonderful part. He anom lai ropuina lai mo chatna lai ania. In the second place apanina chuan we are poor kan rethei ani. This was the part that wouldn't permit me to believe what I saw. Le himi kan rethei na lai himi part tak hian Kathil mu what I saw more past tense of see and saw ka. Kathil mu min oi tir lo tur. That would not permit me to believe. Permit it to pal. That would not permit me. Condition min pal ti min pal lo mo om se chu kathil mu hi min oi tir lo tur mo dikani ti min phal tir lo tur chu kan re the ani ti hi ani. We were poor kan re the a. We had no money poisa kan nei lova. Our whole tribe was poverty stricken. Poverty re the na stricken. Poverty stricken kan ti chuan re the ni na tlak buak re the em kan tribe kan nampum top hi re the em hi kan ni top maya. Every branch of the Carolinian family was living in the most amazing and comical poverty in the world. Achan chu Carolinian family zong mo a branch a kung nge engen yang a tribe chi shang himi chung kwa a branch peng chi shang top hi khovela retheina mo mak sak kan ti don hi retheina nung vek hi kan ni me ya. Nobody could understand where we ever got money enough to keep us with food in our bellies. Not even the old man of the family atini. Tichuan where we ever got money enough to keep with food in our bellies kan pumamo cho e tur hi engtin nge kan mu chua ti hi engtin nge hi tiang e tur kan leina tur poisa ti engtin nge kan mu chua ti hi nobody could understand me tu ma hian an she thiam phalo ni. Not even the old man of the family chungwa putar emo upaber po na she thiam chuang lo ni engtin nge kan in chom chho ti hi. Most important of all apoi mo ber chu do chuti chungpo chuan ma se ni ma se la. We are famous for our honesty kan dikna wangyan mi shiat kan hlau ani kan dikna mo mi dik kan di ni hi kan mi na min shiat dan ani ve thong ani. We had been famous for our honesty for something like 11 centuries mo kumzbi som pakhat chuang mo kum tam tak chungin we have been famous for our honesty kan dikna wangyan shared kan lovea even when we had been the wealthiest family in what we like to think was the world. Tichuan okay, even when we had been the wealthiest family in what we like to think was the world. Le mi khovela house bear anga in ngai kan chak viau la yan we are proud for us, okay? No sabera chuan kan in chuang ani honest next chuan dignity and lepeka chuan dignity kan da poimo a. And after that we believe in right and wrong. Chumi nuwa chuan thil dikle diklawa hian mo kan moral kan zia ani chu khata khan dikle diklo ti hi kan thil then kha chu dika thil then kha chu diklo ti kan ngai poimo via. None of us could take advantage of anybody in the world, let alone steal. Ti chuan her khovela hian mi tu ma hian midang hei midang chaklo ne mo khateng reng ka advantage hi kan langai lo ni mi atang engin yang chance mo rem chan hi kan langai lo ani let alone steal ruk phe chu soilo atita ni. Consequently, chuwang chuan, even though I could see the horse sakor chu ka hmu theina in so magnificent. Aro puizia mo puizia annal zia ka hmu theina in even though I could smell it so lovely. Arim chu ka hriat phak the ani na in arim du om tak arim tui tak even though I could hear it breathing so exciting. Ti chuan sakor thori thlengin ka hre the a avan phurom takem mase ti chungpo chuan I could not believe the horse had anything to do with my cousin Maurat. Ti chungpo chuan ka hma ngeya om lai po chuan he sakor hi ka cousin nen. It has that I could not believe it had anything to do with my cousin Maurat ti om chu ka cousin hian engti kong zong main he sakor nen in kung kain hen nei thelo ni ti hi ka hre the meya or with me or with any of the other members of family ni lo pon ke nen pon ni sen ni lo pon members of our family kan chung ka member tu mai po hian hemi sakor nen in zom ne emo nei na emo hemi hi an nei thelo ni ti ka hre chianga asleep or awake ka mu hil emo ka har emo because I knew my cousin Maurat could not have bought the horse. Achan chu ka cousin hian he sakor hi a lei thelo ani boat ka past tense of buy ani a lei thelo ni ti hi I knew ka hria ani. And if he could not have bought it chuwang chuan a lei thelo ani chuan He must have stolen it. Aru ani nge ang stolen, past tense of steal, aru past tense ani. And I refuse to believe he had stolen it. Mase aru ani tihi. Rin har ka tini ka rin dulo ani. Rin ka dulo ani. No member of the Carolinian family could be a thief. Atan to Carolinian family de ruk mang kandi thelo ani. I stared first at my cousin and then at the horse. Di chuan cousin to ka en chuan hua sakor ka en letrina. There was a pious stillness and humor in each of them, which on the one hand delighted me and on the other frightened me. Di chuan kete kan en kwal vel kan pious stillness and humor mo re rui mai achang chu nui za thlak lek lek ani khami thil ka en khan chuan chu tak chu which on the one hand delighted me chuan pakhata chuan min ti lawma and on the other frightened me ma se pakhata chuan min ti hlau thong ve thung ani Maurat, I said, where did you steal this horse? Maurat khoya changin nge himi sakori iruk ti in ka zota. Leap out of the window, he said. Tukver chang khan ron chuak lo zuang chuak pa jo if you want to ride. Chung chuang ve du ani chuan mo I ride ve du ani chuan. It is true then. Oh, adik ani mo. He had stolen the horse sakori aruk nge ani e. There was no question about it. Chu chu inge neng zo po ngai shen lo ve. He had come to invite me to ride or not as I chose. Chu wang chuan ka du le du lo ka du emo du lo. Sorry. Kadu emo as I chose kadu than nge in he had come to invite me to ride or not chung hemi sakor chung hi chuang ve turimin lo so mani hi kadu or kadu lo kathu thu in well chuwang chuan it seemed to me stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing something else such as money le keima a chuan it seemed to me alandan chuan keima a chuan stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing something else achung kan chuan du wang maya sakor kan la ka ni chuan thil dang kan varuk nen chuan in ang chia lawa suggest money ma poisa kan varuk angin sakor chung chuang tura kan valak lok hi chu ruk ani lo mai theya a in thiam chapel ani mo for all I knew chan chu kashiat a chuan maybe it wasn't stealing at all mo a ruk po ni care lo mai thei a sin ti in angai tuan te mo ri ru ngai tuan te pa lo ti lang ani Kaka page number 2 ania pathum hi next video akan som liang The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse page number 3 atang kan sum som liang If you were crazy about horses the way my cousin Maurad and I were so ka cousin Maurad le keima ang hian horse sakor he at chilve ula chuan he if you're crazy about something thil engemaw kan crazy ni chuan he kan at chil kan du em kan boi pui thop ang chi khani ta ni keima ni ang hian sakor hi ngai na in boi pui ve ula chuan it wasn't stealing kan thil ti hi thil ruk ani theilo ani ati ta ni it wouldn't become stealing until we offered to sell the horse chuan we offered to sell the horse Kami sakor kha shal turin sell tura kan offer kan shal ma chuan kan thil ti kha ru kan hi theilo ani which of course I knew we would never do chuan chumi sakor shal chu kan ti don lo shim shim bok ta zia chu ru ru kha in thiam che lawa ma se kan thil ti kha in thiam na kha lo zong ve deuh tina ni chu Let me put on some clothes I said ti chuan ka cousin bula chuan thawmhnaw kan ha phot ange ka ti a alright he said but hurry ole man moro I leaped into my clothes chuan ka thawmhna chuan ka zuang luta leap min zuang lut a soi tumber chu ka thawmhnaw chu ka ha sok sok ka ti na ni mai I jumped down to the yard from the window and leaped up onto the horse behind my cousin Maurat ti chuan ka tu ver atang chuan ka zuang thla a ka cousin Maurat hnunga chuan sakor chung chu ka chuang ve ta a That year we lived at the edge of town on Walnut Avenue. Kami kum khachuan Walnut Avenue a town kha town ni chuan he Mizoram anga ni chuan he district tia kan khani mai chu khat mi town anga pa town pon deuh hleka kan oma behind our house was the country ti chuan I kan in hnung lama chuan kan in pialam to mai chu ma chuan vineyards he engen ang grape huan te orchards ti te irrigation ditches he tui luan kor te thlai chin na te country roads mo thin tlang road ang chi te khatiang te kha om to mai ta an om na kha pon zia soi tumna ni chu khapui laili anom lo tin hani chu in less than 3 minutes we were on Olive Avenue this one minute thum aral nu chuan Olive Avenue an tia chuan kan om ngal der maya and then the horse began to trot ti chuan an sakor chu he trot kan ti chuan mo tlan chia si lo ma se tia kal muang ni to si lo khatiang kha tlan tran tum ang chi kha speed kha tle mina sang tho ve to ta khami war tak kha ka shalo ani so kan sa korpo chu tle min he akal chak ve deu hlek to the air was new and lovely to breathe bo rock te chu a fai in he anuam em maya the feel of the horse running was wonderful ti chuan kha tia sakor an tlan tran khami feel kha anuam em. My cousin Maurat, who was considered one of the craziest members of our family, began to sing. Ti chuan ka cousin Maurat kan chung kwa member om maksak ber mo dang dai ber nia kan ngai chu a zai tren ta I mean he began to roar ka soi tum zok chu zai po ni lo hey roar kan ti chuan room kan ti don me khatiang kha ani tren ngal top ta ni a lom lu tu kha a rak ri vak to ani chu every family has a crazy streak in it somewhere and my cousin Maurad was considered the natural descendant of the craziest streak in our tribe ti chuan chung ka tin hian enge niang e dang lam bik member hi kan nei vek ta ni om sang bik i chung te zia ni chia si lo khatiang amo different bik ang chi kha kan nei vek ta ni he khatiang bik kha kan nei veka chu chu keimani chung kwa bik a po hian my cousin Maurad was considered the natural descendant of the crazy streak in our tribe kan chung ka bik a po hian kan cousin Maurad hi keimani tribe mo bika chuan crazy streak nia kan ngai natural descendant mo khatianga ang kha kan ngai to pa ate before him was our uncle ama ma hian e ka cousin Maura tilawa chuan Khosrow ti hi kapu Khosrow fi omshina an enormous man with a powerful head of black hair and the largest mustache in the San Joaquin Valley ti chuan Khosrow Palian enormous man with a powerful head of black hair some dum neile San Joaquin Valley mo kami valley mustache mul se ber nei book ber kan ngai khom trina a man so furious in temper thin che mahinia so irritable so impatient that he stopped anyone from talking by roaring ti chuan angi mai hi mo he chim em do thailo lu tuk ta ni impatient lu tuk ta ti chuan mi tu po tong shim kha he ti hian rak shep thin ta it is no harm pay no attention to it mo apoilo chu ngai sak du su a ho lu tuk kha ti lengot thina thil eng po mai kha ti khan angi thailo ani he do thailo top ani nom sei to su a ho lu tuk tiang du top kha na ti top pek thin ta ni mi tu soi po kha that was all that was all no matter what anybody happened to be talking about khatyang top kha ni mai kapu chu no matter what anybody happened to be talking about me tu po engchang chin po soi se khati top kha kapu chu ma chon trina once it was his own son Arak running 8 blocks to the barber shop where his father was having his mustache trimmed to tell him their son was on fire sorry their house was on fire this one trum khatsu afapa Arak kha 8 blocks more blocks si blocks kan ti chuan i hei in mo building ni ta se block khat block ni anga umang chi kha khatiang in mo hun pariat lai i lo tlan pel to lo tlan char afapa arak hi oma chuan barber shop mo lumet samet kan ti don nge khami dora khan apa kha amusta sa hmui mul kha lo trim tir ani ta chuan afapa kha ron tlan wang apa hena chuan to tell him their house was on fire an ina kan thu lo shil turin ron tlan wang ani afapa kha this man caused Rob sat up in the chair and roared ti chuan thut thleng an thua ti hian afapa bula chuan ti hian it is no harm pay no attention to it a ho lu tuk ngai sak tu su poi lo chu kharon ti ringot mai ni. The barber said ti chuan chuta lume tu chuan. But the boy says your house is on fire, ma se. Now pa nga chuan in a kan thu a soi chu a lo ti a. So Kozrov roared, and now it is no harm, I say. Ti chuan Kozrov chuan ti khan a lo thin rim setin aron trong le a. A tok a poi lo ka ti chu aron ti ringot ta ni khatiang ka. Kozrov an chungkwa an uncle ka trin a. My cousin Maurad was considered the natural descendant of this man. Chu wang chuan ka cousin Maurad hi he kapu Khosrov mo he this man natural descendant kan ti chuan thla chon mo kami lo zui tu kha thla chon kha kami thla zel ang chi kha tura kami kha the natural descendant a kan ngai ringot thin. Although Maurad's father was Zorab, Ma, uh, Maurad pa chu Zorab ani a, who was practical and nothing else. A pa chu practical kan ti chuan he thil ingyen yang ani na tur anga ti zel thil ti thlap thlap ang mi practical em mo khatiang mi ani a. Apa chu chu tiang ani na chungin Maurad chu Khosrov papa emo ti mei tura kosa le zia maksak nei ani a atita a. That's how it was in our tribe. Chu tiang chu ni ke mani tribe ke mani nambi ke mani hey chung big kanom dan chu a man could be the father of his son's flesh. Mi pa hian afapa mo ti sa takin hey apa ani theya taksa takin sorry inti kan tia hey sons plus hey DNA ang zong le shin ang zong chuan afapa pa tu po ma hian afapa pa ani theya, but that did not mean that he was also the father of his spirit. Mase khami awangkhat azia te engang mi zia nge ani a spirit mo atharau engang mishing nge ni tiang zong ka chuan ama kha chhun kher lo mai the ani atina ni chu ani tak taka mihring reng reng hin nu le pa hi kan chhun vek kher lo a an ngai dan zong zong kan pom pui vek kher lo ni khatiang a soi tum na ni mai chu. The distribution of the various kinds of spirit of our tribe had been from the beginning capricious and vagrant. Ti chuan kan tribe a chuan hei spirit distribution hei zia te mo khatiang personality te kan tiang chu kan hriat thiam dan tur chuan khatiang distribution in sem dar dan hi keimani tribe a chuan had been from the beginning atir atang reng khan. Capricious means hei hriat lok lo i predict thei lok lo in thak thu thu zia khatiang chi mo hriat lok thei lo a engang fa nge eng pu nge kan nei don ti pawh kha hriat lo khatiang top khani an vagrant kan ti chuan an mani tribe hrim hrim kha ni chuna kan soi atang pawh in hria anga an in sawn reng thin ta hmun khata hei awm na hmun ngiat nei lo khatiang tribe kha kan lo ni hrim hrim bawk nen ati ta ni. We wrote in my cousin Maurad saying ti chuan sakor chung chu kan chuanga cousin Maurad chu Azaya for all anybody knew we are still in the old country where ti chuan country hlui thintlang hlui a chuan kan la awma. At least according to some of our neighbors we belong ti chuan I kan thenom te I soidana chuan ke ni po himi that we belong to this place mo himi muna mi nge kan ni ke hi ata tu anei tu kan ni ve ani ti te kham min shil ve thina. We let the horse run as long as it felt like running. This one sakor chu atlan pe chen chen chu kan tlan tir ve a. At last my cousin Maurad said the top chuan ka cousin Maurad chuan get down, I want to ride alone. Chukro keima chuin sakor chung ka chuang du alo ti a. Will you let me ride alone? I asked. Keima chuin min chuan tir ve angem ka ti a. That is up to the horse, my cousin said. Get down. Chukro le chu sakor thu thu ani mai min ti a. The horse will let me ride, I said. Sakor chuan na chung ka chuan na du emang min chuan tir emang ka ti a. We shall see, he said, and endon ya. Don't forget it, I have a way with the horse. Masa ki chu sakor ti dan hi ka thiam rio ania. Tin min lo shil le a. Well, I said, any way you have with the horse, I have also. Oh, chachu sakor ti dan I thiam big po ni may take po ka thiam ve tholom ka ti a. For the sake of your safety, he said, let us hope so. Get down. Ole ihim nan itu soi chu dik sham tu rabe se ang churo le inti a. Alright, I said, but remember you have got to let me try to ride alone. Ole ka chuk do ne ma se ke ma chu min chuan tir ve nge ang che ati ka ti a. I got down and my cousin Maurad kicked his heels into the horse and shouted to chuan cousin Maura chu ka chuk nu chuan ake khan sakor kha apeta ti hian a keka ti chuan vazir ti khan hei awa ran tlan ro le ti tani vazir ti hi chu my heart ti nani o ka thim lung ka tiang saina khani tani hei the ka mangai ti te pawh ni thiang chu the horse stood on its hind legs snorted and burst into a fury of speed that was the loveliest thing I have ever seen ati tani ti chuan chu mi hnu vel le chun sakor chu hei ake hnung zawk kamo kami hind legs hei behind mi a ke hnung zawk nin khan a ding a ti chuan thlalak ami ang khan i mai ti chuan snort kan ti chuan hei sakor in an kan dawn te mo kha thiang ri an siam thin khamo and burst into a fury of speed that was the loveliest thing I had ever seen ti chuan speed chak tak mai chuan atlan chhuak ta ni chumi ri chumi chu thil chu thil ka hmu tawh zawk zawk a mawi ber ani hialang ati ta ni kaka page number 4 3 le 4 ani a chuan 5 kha kan chhun zawm le dawn nia.